So a better time this year to think about buying a house. And what we've seen, the rising interest rates last year, and potentially a bit of introduction of the new Renting Homes Wales bill, has driven quite a lot of landlords out of the system, and the supply of rented accommodation has gone down, which means rents have been rising quite steeply, 20+%, and it's rented, and the supply of rented accommodation is vicious. You can't find rented houses, particularly 3-bedroom properties. So I'm seeing the tenants finally saying, actually, I could buy a property or buy my own property off the landlord. And I then see that moving up, because the people from the terrace houses will buy a semi-detached house, will buy a detached house. And so we need an increased housing supply for family living.
Yeah.
And coincidentally, by the good luck or good management, the Wrexham County Borough's development plan has now been made policy. That was only 23rd of December, and everybody will have seen the new houses being built on the bypass, Ross Robin, Ross Dufflin, and there's literally hundreds and hundreds of new builds in the prep, and they're all going to need mortgages, and other than kind of mortgage for family purchases and everything else, if I recall it rightly, in the Welsh system but not the English system, there's the Help to Buy Wales for new builds.
Yeah, so Help to Buy for England did end probably about 18 months or so ago now, but Help to Buy Wales is still there. Been a few tweaks, but now it's back to the original Help to Buy Wales, where you could you can purchase property up to 300,000 on a new build. So that is still there, and then
is that no deposit at all?
No, so it enables you to put a 5% deposit down yourself,
right?
And then you'll basically get 20% Help to Buy equity loan from Help to Buy Wales, and then you'll get 75% mortgage against that new property. So it reduces the mortgage amount, therefore the payments.
Yeah.
Help to Buy Wales is then interest-free for the first 5 years. And then
no interest at all?
No. You just basically pay £1 a month to keep the facility open.
Right.
And then from year 6 onwards, you then start paying that back.
Right.
However, over the years when I've done a lot of Help to Buy Wales, the plan would always be to overpay on that mortgage as much as you can in that 5-year period.
Once you've got the interest-free period.
Yeah, because ultimately Help to Buy Wales isn't free. You will start paying that back eventually.
Yeah.
So you need to budget and kind of overpay in readiness for when Help to Buy is then payable.
Yeah.
And again, depending on what happens with interest rates and what the monthly payment on Help to Buy actually will inevitably be, it may then be worth in 5 years' time remortgaging that property to raise the money to pay Help to Buy off, therefore then obviously increasing the mortgage payment and the mortgage itself. Yeah. However, if you've been overpaying for the last 5 years, you might find that actually the higher payment on the mortgage that inevitably will be in 5 years is actually similar to what you've been overpaying as well.
Yeah.
So you're not that far off.
You're getting a good level of assistance. You're getting a new home that's low maintenance.
Yeah.
High efficiency.
Yeah.
EPC band. A lot of them are a band B, so very cost effective to live in.
Yeah.
And you can buy them cost effectively, and the supply of them is now coming on board this year. There should be a good supply of new build properties between March and I think September this year.
Definitely.
Good prospect if you wanted to upgrade.
Yeah, and I think even without Help to Buy Wales, so people may have a higher deposit or they're not maybe comfortable with Help to Buy Wales, you still can put up to a 10% deposit down on a new build. You won't be able to put a 5% deposit down without Help to Buy Wales. So if it's without Help to Buy Wales, it will be minimum of 10% deposit. Now again, that might work for some people because they don't want the worry maybe in 5 years' time of paying Help to Buy Wales back.
Yeah.
But obviously you would then need to be able to afford a higher mortgage as well.
If you're going for a Help to Buy option, you need to do it with a plan.
Yes. And I think it's really important, again, not necessarily me, but any other mortgage advisor or a broker in particular, you need that advice. You're not going to get it from online comparison sites. You're certainly not going to get it from popping into your local bank.
Good reason to come and see Tom.
Yeah, but it's really important to not necessarily focus on the mortgage and kind of how that works, but Help to Buy. You won't be able to bring Help to Buy and get really any tailored advice. It's just generic information, and you've got to kind of decipher what that means for you. Whereas a mortgage broker will say, look, this is your eligibility on the mortgage and Help to Buy, because Help to Buy do have eligibility checks as well and affordability themselves. So you might find you can afford the mortgage, but then not Help to Buy, and they've got to work together to be able to then purchase that new build.
And you'll tailor this for people altogether.
Yeah, exactly. So the initial conversations would be obviously what type of purchase prices you're looking at, your deposit level, your income, etc., to work out then the eligibility of the mortgage, Help to Buy. If they're both in a position where you're good to go, you then will reserve the property, pay the reservation fee, and the application process will be underway for the mortgage and the Help to Buy itself.
Good prospect.